Hello and welcome to the brief history of, well, maybe not brief, but welcome to the history of Pink Korone, or the Pink Doggo as a lot of you probably call her. So just a quick disclaimer is that this video is meant to present theories and they might not be accurate, so please take them with a grain of salt. But before we get into it, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you. So, who is Pink Korone? Who is she? Where is she? You know, what happened? As most of you probably know, she's an operator that was hinted at during the end live stream of CN's first anniversary. So it's been over a year since she's been missing. And so that's where she was first seen. Here's a picture of her. And she's, as people rumored, she's a Victorian barber. And so let's cut to the chase. Why is she not here? So obviously she was supposed to be released during the year one. And as you can see, the banner list should have been Thorns, Pink Doggo, Surtur, Mountain, Arknights, and then Saga. And so she would have been the second operator to have been released, and obviously she wasn't. So why is she not here? A popular rumor is due to the Thorns banner outrage. So basically, if you don't know what that is, during the release of Thorns, he was put into the Heart of the Surging Flame event, and I believe the EX stages, he had some story there. Some of you might know that, some of you who might not. Basically, what happened was it caused CN to be very upset that the event felt very lackluster, as it was a rerun for an already existing event, which is some added content that barely had the operator in it. So a lot of people were very disappointed about that, and rightfully so. So what happened was people think that she might have been caused for delay due to this, as the outrage of people wasn't to be expected, as obviously. And so people think that she was probably delayed for this reason, but there's also a few other reasons she could have been delayed. First of all, she was broken. That could be a reason. So she might be getting the Cultsit treatment. For those who don't know what the Cultsit treatment is Cultsit was supposed to be released in, I believe, beta, which I think was around, I don't know if it was about chapter 3 or so. And she was supposed to be released around then, and she never made it because she was just so broken. As you probably, if you've ever seen Call in action today, she was unnerfed back then, and she's the same way she is now. So as you know, she is a tier 0 insane operator, and she wasn't nerfed back then, so they just kept her and waited for a while. And so obviously, during the phase the game was in, you could probably see why that was a problem. So people speculate that this might be the same thing that's happening with the dog, because she could be very broken. She could be very, powerful. Because, I mean, if you look at the operators that released alongside her, Thorn, Surtur, and Mountain were the 3 that were coming in next and before. Those are 3 very, 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 very powerful operators that we still use today, along with Saga. So that is a very, I think that's a very strong theory. And so something I kind of thought of was maybe voice actor issues or design issues. I mean, this is more of a, kind of a long shot, but I mean, maybe this could be something that came into the whole, that came in. So that's something I'd like to keep in mind. But I think that's more unlikely, if anything. And so the last way that people think is that she would be chapter locked to the story. So as of today, it's September 16th. So tomorrow chapter 9 releases, and she might be something similar to Rosemonte's, how Rosemonte's was in chapter 7 but wasn't released till chapter 8. With the official release of chapter 8 is when her limited banner was. So maybe she would be coming out with chapter 10, since obviously she is not the operator of chapter 9. It's a Vanguard, actually. And so maybe she'll be in the chapter 9 story, and then to be released as the premier banner unit for chapter 10. And this could be, basically a lot of people think is because they thought she was going to be with chapter 9 because she's Victorian, or she's rumored to be Victorian, as mentioned in Irescape's files. A lot of people think that the little pink Victorian hairstylist, or I think it was cute little hairstylist, something, I'll put it on screen, and they think that was in reference to her. So now let's look at her design and her overview and discuss what she might do. A lot of people thought originally she was a caster, maybe something along the lines, but personally I think that she has some fight to be a healer, to be honest. Or at first I originally thought a fast redeploy. I'll go over why I think those in a second. So by the looks of her design, based off the bat, you can see she has towards her waist a belt that has some tools on it, and there seems to be scissors, and I'm not exactly entirely sure what those other tools are, but they look like they could be barber tools or something of the sorts, which would also fit with Iris Scarp's file. So I would also like to bring attention to why she could be, maybe a barber surgeon hybrid, which is why I thought she would be a healer. At first I thought she would be a fast redeploy operator or a specialist because of the way, if you look at her bandana, she's got, the lightning bolts on it, and then maybe the scissors, because she'd be a really fast hairstylist, so she'd have a fast attack speed as most of, if not all, the fast redeploy operators do, which would, I guess, kind of fit the theme in terms of like thematrics, I guess. And so at first that was my original idea, but I've kind of shifted actually to that I think she would be a healer. So here's some real life lore. So if you look on the left side of the banner, you'll see her arm has a patch on it, and that patch seems to be red and white lines, and so that's probably, why is that important? So if you know those barber poles, they have white and red. So real life lore real quick, those barber poles the red represents bloodletting from like the old ages, and the white represents bandages for when they had to fix up the wounds after. So that was actually something I really was like, that actually makes sense, because then she could be a barber and a surgeon. It would make sense in both cases, and then that would also lead me to believe that she would be a healer, as she would maybe have some prior medical experience due to being a surgeon in her lore. So with the lightning bandana, in following that original idea of being a healer, maybe the lightning bandana could represent that she's a new type of healer, similar to Suzerain, who's also, I believe, a surgeon, I think, is, maybe a burst heal, so she can be a really, really fast healer, similar to, wait, did I say Suzerain? I meant Susuro. So, yeah, I think that's, a valid idea that she could be a burst healer of the sorts or something like that, and have her skills tied to that, as would represent the lightning bolts, or maybe, she's just a fast worker, but who knows? So these are just some ideas I had. So, but that is something I thought, as you can see though, by her design, she has the three colors, red, white, and blue. And as everyone knows, the three colors that obviously are referring to are the barber pole, which in the States is known to have blue as well. So that could be why she has like a blue bow tie, and also it looks like her hair is very well taken care of. And in her operator quote, she mentions the likes of brushing her hair, or having you brush her hair, something along those lines. And so that could also be due to, hairstylists want to keep their hair nice. So those are just some theories I have and some ideas. I hope you enjoyed them. If you have any ideas of your own, please leave them in the comments. I'd very much like to hear what your ideas are. And please remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed the content, and I hope you have a very nice day. Peace out.
髪を溶かすのを手伝っていただけませんか？お願いします、ドクター。